Glad everybody made it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Zero fucking. Oh, God, thank God. So say zero people, man. I would have been so let down. I mean, I probably would have went in the other room, and I would have went lengthways. Not for effect, but more for, not so much for attention, but for results. Yeah. Hey, man, you know what? I hope everybody's had a good week out there. I have. I've had a pretty good week, I would imagine, as weeks go. We are down now to 87 days. 87 days. Unless you throw in Halloween, because that's October 31st. So really, it kind of makes it 88 days. It depends on how you want to look at it. But let's just call it 87 days. We're down to 87 days. And let me tell you something, ladies and gents. When it comes right down to it, it's going to pick up the talk. Because, believe me, the talk was there 3 years ago. You remember the talk, same as I remember the talk. We all remember the talk. Remember how, like, right away they got a hold of Carroll County? And then how, like, right away they're saying, oh, it's way too early to tell, Carroll County. Well, it's way too early to tell. How many days does it take? 3 years worth? Does it take that many days until you're sure? How many days does it take, right? Am I right? So now we got 87 days till his trial, happens. And I think that as time inches forward toward November the 1st, that we're really going to start hearing a lot, like a bigger uptick out of the mainstream media on this, because they are the media. They are the media that is in click with whatever is going on. That's why it's a press conference. They don't say, like, grab your cousin and go over here and ask questions. No, it's for the media to ask questions. This is why they're in that clique. Now, I think that they're going to start ticking up the questions concerning TJB as it inches toward November 1st. And I think with that is going to bring forward questions concerning Delphi. I don't, and I don't know. I don't really know. And maybe somebody can help me out on this. I don't know if anybody else out there had did a video concerning TJB and Evansdale. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody did. I mean, I don't know. That's why I ask. But if somebody else did do that, because I think the attention should be drawn to Evansdale as well as Delphi. I think that we should pay particular close attention to them. But anyway, as November 1st comes around, I'm looking forward to this because, believe me, let me tell you something. Let me look you right in the eye if I can. Listen to me. Man, 3 years of repeating yourself is like 3 years too long. I don't like to repeat myself at all, let alone over 3 years. Man, it's like a prison sentence. It is. It is, man. I mean, when you sit down and you look at it, and then over the course of time, they're all like, oh, no, we're going to add another year from today, then it gets really, really old. And now, of course, they got the new, well, I don't even want to say it. I know how that they will demonetize. I know how they do that. But yeah, we got the new one going around, and you will wear it. You will too. Yeah. Well, jobs and shit. Yeah, you will too. You got to remember, it's not a two-way street. That's how they say. Period. The big splash period. Period. Me? Yeah, right. Dude, there ain't no such thing, Boogie. There is none. And that is the point. So anyways, back to TJB. So as this uptick starts to play out, this is what I want. Because believe me, sitting here for 3 years, repeating yourself every week, it tends to suck the backside. Real bad. I don't enjoy it. I don't know if anybody thought that I do it. But you know what? For weeks now, literally weeks, I have been saying to you every week, you know what, man? I'll have that timestamp video out before next Tuesday, man. Can't wait, man. You're going to love this. I've been saying that for over a month. And every week, it never happens. And here's why. Look, man, I got Power Director 365. And when I started on it, and then I went back and then I thought, whoa, no, you know what I can do here? And then when I did that, and then I went through, then I'm all like, yeah, I ain't going to work like this now. I got to do this differently. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Let me do it like this, then add that, And then, so every time I do something to where I think, oh, this is where I want it, then I'm like, oh, but this totally outdoes that, in a big way. So I'm really looking forward to getting that out. I am, man. And I mean, really, once it's out there, because, man, it's going to be so much time put into it, but I mean, it's really going to be worth it. I mean, I think everybody's going to love that. It should be I mean, I would believe one of the top Delphi videos, man, out there, period. But you know what? I mean, like, wait till you see it, because, I mean, I don't want to say that and sound all braggadocio, but I think that what I mean by that is that I think that there's so much involved into the timestamp. There are so many little pieces of information that, are like involved as to where everybody was at different times. It gets pretty thick. And you can take that like right down to a minute, and you'll see that down to 1 minute's time that kind of verifies everything. And I think that that's what, I mean, and that's going to be the mind-blowing part. When you sit through the whole video, man, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to be so D-O-B. So D-O-B. And YouTube, why would I lie to you? Huh? Yeah. Well, we've only known each other a couple of years. Wait, what? Yeah, I want to see whatever that is that you're talking about there, Tammy Draper. Because if it concerns TJB, yeah, you know what, man? There is this silence. And believe me, man, I don't think I'm the only one. I really don't. No. Bogey, the Zion, Zion had nothing to do with TJB. That was some other guy, man, got convicted and hit on that with DNA. But Evanston and Delphi, totally TJB. Who is TCJ? I don't even know TCJ. Yeah, I don't know who else out there right now, or in the past. Yeah, you know what? What's weird about it is this. Oh, got you. Thank you, Sharon Parker. Got you. When his name came out, TJB's. I'm going to type it down here in chat so everybody can see, in case first time you've ever been here. And you know what? There might be people out there sharing. This might be somebody's first time being there. Think about that. Think about this was the first time that you was at my channel. Think about what a grand experience it would be right now, being in their shoes, man. Think about that. Oh, hold on. That is TJB right there. What I just put in the chat. So wait, well, yeah. I see Tammy Draper. Oh man, nothing back from Tammy Draper. Crap. Yeah, I can. Of course. Oh yeah, I got that, Teresa. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of men you see, it's like, FSG, we should have one for lady walking her dogs, like, LWD, something like that, dog walking, DWL, she's the dog walking lady. Cheyenne and her friend. Just be like, yeah, I'm her friend. Oh yeah. Thanks, Sharon. So right. Hold on. So to me, and again, at the beginning, let me kind of clear this real quick. At the beginning of this, pushing 3 years ago, when TJB's name came out, originally, it was because St. Louis had contacted Carroll County about him and the possibility of him being bridge guy. Now, that's when it all came out. And I think that everybody's seen that. Most people that was looking into this case, they seen that. They seen where it came out. Now, most people hopped on that because I felt like, to me, it was a race. That is how I felt about it. In looking back, I thought, I got to find this stuff. And if, provided that it is there, I got to find it before everybody else. And that's how it began. So I started stacking all these pieces, thinking in my head that everybody out there was thinking exactly like me and trying to put all this together, if they could, as quickly as possible. By the time I put it all together, 2 weeks, I think it was like 2 weeks out was when I made the video that was like TJB is bridge guy. Once I got that far, there was nobody else out there even talking about him. Everybody else is like, what? I mean, bridge guy, dude, believe me, he isn't. They'd be saying so. And that is how I found out, man, that like these people are not investigators. People do not investigate. They don't know how to investigate, apparently. I don't know. I think that they just know how to make videos because they do not investigate. They don't know how. It's like they don't know what questions to ask. They don't know who they should ask or why or what connects, or they don't get it. I'm talking to the right people here. You're at my channel, so I know you know. But you know what I mean. These people don't investigate at all. At all. Even when they say investigate, they don't fucking mean investigate. No. It's like trying to find a 4K picture of Sasquatch. It just doesn't happen in our reality. It just can't be done. I find some blurry pictures of him. I find them all night. I can go out in the yard. I can go out in the woods right now and get you some blurry pictures of Sasquatch. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, a case like that, like Delphi, you got two minor girls, two little girls in the middle of the day who were abducted and brutally murdered. In a couple years' time, you don't go, cold case. We don't know where to look next. You don't really do that. I mean, it stays on the active list, but you got to cut back. I mean, man, think about this. Originally, after the crime that summer, because that was July. I believe that was July of 2017. Yeah, it was July of 2017 when they knocked on my door and Greeno's. And those were surrounding county investigators. Mine was Howard County. Now, at that time, right after the crime, not only was Carroll County involved in investigating, but so was all surrounding counties, like Clinton County, Tippecanoe, White, Cass, Howard. They were all involved in investigating these call-in tips as well. Now, it went for, and as well, the state of Indiana, the FBI. I mean, it was very big. It was huge. But now, I mean, it's all been gone through. They know all of this. They know everything that we know. Plus, they got quite a bit that they're looking at. But now here's my deal. Of all the pieces, of each and every piece, there's only the one thing that they are extraordinarily quiet on. The one thing that I've only heard them mention one time, and that is TJB. And the one time when they did mention him, they said, well, yeah, we was contacted by St. Louis Police Department. And, we do have people that are looking into him, but it's far too early to know anything. Far too early. That's what they said immediately. And after that, from Carroll County, boom, gone. Never another word about him. Okay. Now, St. Louis, when they had their press conference on him and Delphi was brought up, what did they say? Yeah, we contacted Carroll County about, but the thing is, it's far too early to know anything. Far too early. 3 years later, now we should know. You see where I'm at. Now we should know things. I'm hoping it won't be like, well, 3.5 years later. It's not like we're trying to do miracles here. So we have the missing Holman tape, the one where he mentioned St. Louis. We have the fact that all news accounts, written and verbal, news accounts out of St. Louis concerning the FBI going to St. Louis and obtaining a DNA sample of Thomas TJB are gone as well. They have all been pulled offline, every single one of them. I called KOMO to get a confirmation on that, so they could be like, "Oh yeah, we did air that, and you're right, we did take it down." I mean, we did take it down. We was asked to take it down. We can't give any more on that, but we was asked to take it down. I could not get any direct answer out of that. So that's gone too. Now, anything that you go to look up concerning TJB is gone. They made sure it was all gone. All of it, including the first sketch. Oh, and well, no, that ain't the guy we're looking for now. Everything changed. This guy's younger. It's still the same guy, But this guy don't have the facial hair. He ain't got a hat anymore. He looks younger. He's, nah. Anyway, they're taking care of business. They're doing what they got to do. I'm keeping your ass informed. Remember that. Remember me in your will. All right, man. Make it back, Teresa. Hey, what up, BS? How you doing, dude? Well, yeah. You know what? I don't remember. I do not recall. Because the very first, and to me, there's only been two persons of interest, period. One was Daniel Nations. Now, when Daniel Nations was a person of interest, he was a big person of interest. He was a media person of interest. The media came out with him being a person of interest. And, pretty much stated it like, he's a sexual offender on the run from Indiana. He was staying with his family at a small hiking trail. His reported crimes are similar to that of the Delphi murder. And it's all like, holy shit. So now everybody's thinking like, because now the media is throwing up pictures of him, next to the sketch, throwing up pictures of him, talking about his anger, talking about, everything. We sent investigators out to Colorado. And they came back with complete bullshit. A lie. A lie. I want to be clear to you. I want to be very clear, you two, that what they stated, while it may have sounded like it wasn't a lie, was a direct lie. That's what they said. They came back and they said, well, at this time, we can neither include nor exclude him as being there and a suspect. It's like, oh, shit, man, we knew that. We knew that when you left to go talk to him. We need something new here. Well, we didn't really get anything new. The reason was they didn't get to talk to Daniel Nations. That's why. His public defender, man, says, no, sorry, different state. No, well, you know what? You can talk to him after I'm no longer representing him. Bye-bye. And that was that. They came back to Indiana. Well, that's exactly what TJB's public defender's doing. They're identical. Why? Because he's in there on first-degree murder. He ain't in there on a few minor felonies. Oh, no. He's in there looking at life behind bars without parole. So, of course, his public defender would do the same. Identically. The time is coming. And when that time gets here, and that time will roll around, it'll be here. Oh, also, by the way, hey, I didn't want to make a big thing of it, but, I guess it is like about that time. I didn't know if anybody realized that I was like, in the Pennsylvania Deer Hunters Club. Like not honorary, but like literally in with like all perks and, privileges. So, there's like books and what, and you get to do that. Like if you're in, it's like a whole new world, once you're in. So, I'm very happy about that. And I wanted to pass that along. Didn't they question what guy? Are you talking about Daniel Nations? Because, yeah, they questioned him. They, in fact, what happened is when they sent investigators out to Colorado to talk to him, they couldn't talk to him. So they had to extradite him back. So they had to get him through court out there and then extradite him out here to Indiana, back to Johnson County, and then question him. And all of that took place in 1 week before the first year press conference. And when I talked to Daniel Nations on the phone about that, man, he's all like, yeah, they was telling me that you thought I was guilty. Yeah, I don't know. I told you, man. I mean, told you at first, man. I thought your ass was guilty. Jeez, dude. But here was the thing. I couldn't believe the Indiana State Police actually, like, watched my channel and was like, but hey, man, right on. Indiana State Police. That was my old channel. That was before they had it removed. But, like, right on, State Police. Thank you. I mean, it means stuff to me. NWKAT. I mean, really. Wow, 57 people. Holy shit. So, anybody got anything to do? I mean, I've only been here like 26 minutes, and I feel like I'm boring you. I really do. Does anybody have any questions? Because, damn it, if there's one thing I'd love to do is just answer questions. And, I have like daydreams where people's like, hey, dude, may I ask you a question? Yeah, man. Go ahead. Yeah. And, it always begins like that. Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, we don't hand that out, Bogey. Thank you. Yeah, we don't hand out that information. Thanks. It's not just something you get into, right? Hey, you know what? I don't know if anybody can find this or not, but I want people to try. A friend of mine started, and I think it's called the Schnauzer Hub. And it's a web page, and all it is, man, is it's stuff for only schnauzers. Like, period. Everything on there is for a schnauzer. No outside other dogs. Everything's on there. Pictures, everything, blah, 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 blah. Freaking schnauzer. Why? So, and he thought, because he couldn't find anything like that, he said, I'm going to make a website like that. So he did, man. He when he made this, and I think it's called like the Schnauzer Hub or Short Schnauzer Hub, something like that. But man, if you can find that, and you know what, I say that, and probably only like 1 in every 2,000 people are actually into schnauzers. Well, the latest is the same as it's been for pushing 3 years. He's in a St. Louis jail. He goes to court on November 1st for a 6-day jury trial. And when he goes to court on November 1st, once he has a conviction, other states can go talk to him. And therefore, after a few months, after his conviction, then we will have murder charges filed upon him. That is the latest, Sherry, and I appreciate you asking. I honestly do. Thanks for being here. Let me think. If I was to name any progress on the trail at all, any, it would be that they took down the orange barrier at the bridge. And that's it. I don't think that they've done. No, whoa. Yeah, you see, man, I almost messed up. No, they added the kiosks there too. They did do that with the cameras. Yeah, I forgot, man. Almost slipped up. Almost said things unknowingly. Yeah. Hey, man, Peaches Dixon, how you doing? Yeah, you know what? I think that it would be very tough to be in law enforcement right now concerning this case in Carroll County, because you have the two families of the girls, and this is a town of 3,500 people, and here's two families within that 3,500 people. Now, you're aware of things through investigation, the FBI. You're aware of a lot of things that the public has no idea of. Now, every day for now, by the time I believe this rolls around, it'll be 5 years. Every day of that, you got the families there, and they want answers, same as you want answers. Everybody wants answers. So, you got to deal with that. Now, I put it out like this, and this is me. I got a hold of Sheriff Lesenby a few years ago. Got a hold of Sheriff Lesenby, and I asked him, I said, what is the timestamp on that man walking, taking that step and a half? What's the timestamp on that? So he says, well, I'm going to have to ask the investigators, about giving that out. I don't know if that's something that they want out. Okay. Now, here was my reasoning on wanting the timestamp. If I had a timestamp of when that occurred, since I knew that 207 was the last time that we had that we knew was exact, then that would tell me north side, south side from where he came. You see where I'm at? If he came from the north side, how long did it take him to cross to get there? We would know approximately where he was on the north side by having the timestamp of when he was there toward the south side. So I asked this, I sent it to him, and he told me about the investigator. So I waited a few days. I'm like, all right, man, okay. I could tell right away it wasn't going in the direction that I wanted, but he was asking investigators. A few days go by. I write him back. Well, sir, if you talk to investigators, and you can tell me what the timestamp on that is. So he writes back to me. He says, well, and I'm going to pull this up. I will go get that email and I'll copy so I can show you what exactly the code was. But there's a code. I'm going to say it like this, which is completely wrong. Don't look it up. Indiana Code 503, Section B 508, something like that. That if it is something that involves the investigation, if it is something that is investigatory within the case, then the investigators do not have to release that. And if they do not release that, then it stays pretty much sealed within that case. Now, everybody thinks that the family knows everything that goes on in the investigation. Like they got a inside pass into everything that goes on. Whereas I say they don't, because they're civilians, okay? They're civilians. They do not have access to that information. And people believe that they do, that they have this, information that law enforcement has. Whereas I say they don't. Now, this comes in for an important reason. Some of you, likely all of you, have heard this story that goes like this. The girls get down there. Libby takes Abby's picture. They walk down. They're to the south side of the bridge. Apparently already had her cell phone on video record because it's picking up their voices. And one girl says to the other, is that creepy guy still following us? Yeah, he is. He just stepped onto the bridge. Well, if that was on the cell phone audio on Libby's phone. That audio that you just heard me dictate to you verbally would be part of the investigation. Now, if anybody was allowed to hear that part, and it did exist, they would be told by law enforcement that this is a part of our active investigation, and we can't have that out there for the public to know. So I'm going to say that no matter where that came from, it most positively could not have came from the family. Because if it did, they were making things up, because there are parts to that that just don't make any sense to me at all. One, why would they have it on video record at that time? I mean, it'd be one thing if they was doing something where they was video recording rather than just standing there saying that the trail ends here, when it don't, it ends back at the beginning of the bridge. You know, I just don't see any sense in it. But that's me. I'm a man of questions, many questions. Yeah, Peaches Dixon, I'll give you that. Well, you know what? To my knowledge, on that day, on the 13th, I can name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that were at that trail before 3 o'clock. Or actually before 3:30. 6. Oh, well, yeah, no, I was just throwing in that you were correct. Thank you very much, Peaches. Wasn't trying to point your name out or, you know, showcase your name, Peaches Dixon. Hey, Radar, man, how you doing? But yeah, you know what? I think somebody way up there, man, had asked me about the timestamp video. Man, I'm going to say this. It's like every time, man, where I get it to where I'm like, yeah, man, this is really good. And then I upgrade it and I'm all like, oh, man, this is going to be so impressive. And then, you know, when I start working on that, then I'm like, oh, God, man, I don't want to do this. But if I go all the way back and then, you know, and I do it like this, that's good. And that's been what I've been doing, man. I've been upgrading and upgrading and upgrading it. And, you know, there's going to come a time when I just like, you know, add a little copyright stamp, because I'm going to say, man, this has been produced to no end, man. And like, holy shit, the FBI might want me to work for him, you know. I mean, it's going to be badass. I'll guarantee you. I mean, you know what I did? Greeno had made me an intro. And I think I used it on one of my videos, and this is probably going back like about 2 months ago, maybe more than that. Now, I opened a video with that intro in it. And as soon as I used that intro, I got a copyright claim. So I go check the copyright. And the copyright was from Epidemic Sound, because he put their music in the background. Well, you can do that if you're paying Epidemic Sound money. If you're not paying them money, then they can hit you with the copyright. You see where I'm at? That way you pay them money, you use their music, you use their money. Well, there can never come a day that you don't pay them money, or they can copyright claim every single one of your videos. Every single one that has their music in it. Something to think about. Yeah, it's like one of those like last end of the days things, that people do. So anyway, man, he had made this video and put that music in the background, but the intro was really awesome. So what I did, man, is I went through, I snatched a piece out of it, added different music, added different like highlights, a text pops out, really streamlined that. And I was like, wow, man, and that was kind of the tip off. But I'm letting you know right now, man, the timestamp video, when it does come out, you don't want to miss it. And there's only one way that you cannot miss this video. And that's if you go down, you click that little bell, and then you click all, where you're notified of absolutely everything that I do. When I go to a store and I buy premium waffle chips, you'll be the first one to know. You can meet me at Dollar General right there at the premium waffle chip aisle. Just like that, you'll know. Yeah, Brenda Jones. Brenda. Family members have stated there were at least 50 people at the trails that day. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, Brenda. Brenda, look at me. Brenda, look at me in the eyes. Do you know, Brenda, how many times I've been out at the trails? Over 5 years, Brenda. Do you want me to tell you the amount of times that I've been out at the trails, Brenda? Countless times I've been out there at the trails. Countless times. Countless. Literally. If I was to sit here and count them, I wouldn't be able to. Countless. And every single time, even during a march, every single one of those times that I've ever been out at the trail, do you know how many people I've seen out at the trails? Never 50. Never ever 50. Not one time ever in the history of me going to the trail over 5 years have there been 50 people there. Now, I'm going to say on just a regular warm day in February, like no big attraction to that trail for any other reason at all, I don't think 50 people showed up. In fact, I'm going on a limb and I'm going to say at a 110% chance that there wasn't 50% or 50 people there that day. Probably not even that week up to the crime. Because not that many people went out there, Brenda. And I know all kinds of people say that shit. I've heard them. I've seen them online say that shit. And you know what? I've been telling them right there, that's bullshit. Because if there was that many people there at the trail when that happened, every single one of those people would have seen that suspect walking out. Would you or would you not agree? Of course you would agree. It's common sense. Oh, no, that's just the way I talk, Brenda. It's just the way I speak. I speak to my puppy in the same way. So now, puppy, listen to me. Puppy, you listen. Well, I believe for this reason, something. Off of the bat, when I seen the guy's name and seen what St. Louis had wrote to Carroll County, I went and looked the guy's mugshot up. And, upon seeing his mugshot, I'm like, holy shit, because I'm like, yeah, wow. Not only does this look like the sketch, look like it was drew right off of his face. Now, I got to a point, including with the bankruptcy 1 month prior, he resigned from his job, was unemployed. I knew that was part of the suspect profile for Evansdale, because most all of these that happen like this all pretty much have a very similar profile. Now, again, I want to be clear. The FBI, although it was stated that they was going to make a suspect profile for Delphi, never made a suspect profile for Delphi. Never came out. Suspect profile from the FBI, never released. Now, once I got to a point where I'm like, yeah, man, this does. I mean, in every way, this looks to be that guy. You know, it looks to be the bridge guy. But there's got to be more. There's got to be more to this, right? So then I'm looking at, well, he lived in St. Louis at that time. I'd made it that far. I knew where he lived in 2017. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. His family lives up in the Montrose area, you know, just north of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I mean, he would drive back and forth, you know, especially over like 15 years, man, more than that. Yeah, actually, for over 15 years, I thought, man, he would have drove back, you know, to Indiana many times, go see him. So I went to, you know, since I was at Google, man, I went to Google Maps, you know, and I put in, man, from St. Louis to Fort Wayne, Indiana, directions, you know, that way it gives me driving directions. And it gave me I-70 and the Hoosier Heartland. So there it is, right there, man. He'd taken the Hoosier Heartland. Why? Because he's a serial killer. Why? Because he's looking for small trails, areas of opportunity. You know, I mean, he ain't going to get on I-70. I mean, you know what? Had he got on I-70 and took I-70 from St. Louis up to Fort Wayne, he would have arrived 20 minutes earlier than if he would then taken the Hoosier Heartland. 20 minutes faster is all it is. You know, so I thought, yeah, he probably always took the Hoosier Heartland, would stop at small trails. That's where he would go, man. That's where he would look for opportunities, at small trails. Hiked, but not heavily. Now, again, I say this, hiked, but not heavily. But, you know, people bring that up to me, you know, like, well, there was 47 kids there. Man, there ain't never been no 47 kids there. No, there wasn't no 47 kids that I don't even think that 47 kids knew that place existed on the 13th of February, 2017. I mean, do you see where I'm at? So anyways, I think that in his travels back to Montrose, Michigan, you know, the family's house, he'd stop there at Monon High Bridge Trail, walk down it. Now, I'm going to say from the question, because it said Deer Creek Pass. Well, there's only really two paths. That's it. I mean, the one path begins at Freedom Bridge and ends at Monon High Bridge. That's Monon High Bridge Trail. That's it. It's where the tracks used to be. It connects this bridge to this bridge. It's less than a mile walk down there. You just turn around and walk back. You know, now at the secondary entrance, which is about at the halfway point, then you got the 505 trail. Now the 505 trail is 505 steps down to the water. 505, you know, steps till you hit the water. That's it. Now that's the other trail, but the trail is not big. I mean, seriously, the property that I lease right here, that I'm sitting on right now, is larger than the trail out there. You know, actually probably by 20 or 30 acres larger. You know, it's, you know, the trail is not that big. You know, it's very little because it's completely surrounded by private property. But anyway, that's how I knew. I think that in his travels back and forth, he had stopped there in the past, maybe looking for opportunity, just casing it out. Maybe just, you know, keeping updated on it. Well, how many people come by? You know, if I sit here for an hour, how many people did I see walk in? You know, is this a good place to sit and wait? You know, wait for someone to come in where I can victimize them, where I can take them over private property, victimize them, then leave. Now, that was the reason for it, you know. And again, Yeah. No, yeah. I'm on your side. I am. Oh, wait. Oh, but I might be on your side too, Anna. But I mean, no. Well, and again, Kelsey, I mean, because she had said in an interview that there was like, oh, when I dropped them off, there was 47 kids there. Like, well, it can't be true. And that was immediately when somebody brought that to my attention. Was what she said. I said, well, it can't be true at all. See, she dropped them off at the secondary entrance. You couldn't see 47 kids there. I mean, where would you see them at? Was they standing right there waiting for them to show up? I mean, why in the hell would they be dumping one on High Bridge by themselves? I mean, you wouldn't see 47 kids there at that trail. And that's why I was telling people immediately. And then what happens? She turns around in an interview after that. Well, yeah, no, I was probably thinking about when we were searching for him. Well, that is two very large pieces of information that you don't want to mess up. One, when I dropped him off, there was 47 kids there. That's huge. Oh, well, maybe I misreasoned. Maybe it was when we was looking for him, there was 47 kids there. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, there was 250 people there then. Yeah, we get that. We understand that. But to say that they were there when you dropped them off, that's huge. People still stand on that. People still stand on that as being real, that there was 47 kids there. There wasn't no 47 kids there at that time. My God, man, it wasn't somebody's birthday party. And again, man, I mean, like if there was 47 kids there when they were dropped off at 138, at 207, they're down at Monon High Bridge with the killer all by themselves. What happened to everybody? Anybody ever think about that? Yeah, Anna, please. I don't think a profiler said that, and if they did, he was probably a dumbass. Don't listen to that profiler anymore. He's very stupid. And he isn't a profiler. Oh, and if you know this person, tell him I said that. Yeah, man, don't ask questions like that, Peaches. Man, you're just inspiring more. Oh, ginger ale, cool. Yeah. Well, now that's exactly where I'm at. Like a bridge guy, right? He was at the trail. We could say the lady walking her dogs, but she wasn't really at the trail. She was really at her property and ran into the guy. Right there at where the south side of the bridge kind of begins in that area. But flannel shirt guy, Abby Libby, Cheyenne, her friend, and Derek. That's it. That's the only people that I know that was at that trail before 3:30. Period. That was it. Anybody that is thrown in aside of them, I do not know them. I never heard of them. To everybody that I've talked to, I never heard of them. And to me, that kind of makes them non-existent. Because if there was somebody else, I know exactly who it was. I know exactly who they were. I'd have their telephone number and their address, and I'd call them at 3:30 in the morning and shit. Hey, it's me, Michael Cat. I got a couple questions. Saw him leaving at 2:47. Saw him leaving. Means he was walking in. Suspect was walking out. That's leaving. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Yes. Okay. Say you're one of those people, and because there's like 63 people here right now, and there was a survey that said that like 1 out of every 60 people have like an inside interest in like cryptocurrency. You could be one of those people. And if you are, please go right there. Go right there to Coinbase, establish yourself, a thing, register, log in, and you can go right there and buy your crypto. Coinbase. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason it's the #1 cryptocurrency exchange in the world, because it's the best. Take it from me. I'm Michael J. Cat, and I approve that shit. Wait, what? Weird that both FSGs were there. Okay, I didn't know that there were flannel shirt guys. Was anybody aware that there were flannel shirt guys? Yeah, right. Thank you. Yeah, and you know what? I don't know whether that there was or not. I mean, I don't. But I mean, I can say this: where anybody would have been located at that time, if any screams were, they were at a distance. They were at a very long distance, and the girls were down in like a half a bowl that would have kind of excluded their screams from just outside there toward the trail or highway, or I mean County Road 300. So ah no, no, I don't. Which seems a little weird. I don't know why that they would be there. You know, I mean, like if Missouri State Police went to the bridge, for what reason? I mean, they wouldn't need to go to the bridge. They would already have the police report, the FBI, the CSI. There wouldn't really be a reason for them to go there. I wouldn't feel. I mean, they're not trying to solve Delphi. And I don't think that the Catholic supply store was like done in any kind of way exactly like Delphi was done. Yeah, he could have. And again, this is what I say, because when it comes to the crime, people want to kind of think about like, well, when they got down here, they would have ran. Well, when they got to here and so happened, so would have hit the guy. Well, when they got here and they would have did this and they would have, and I always say, we don't know that. We don't know anything. We don't know what was said to get them there. We have no idea. Once they got there, we don't know what was said, what was done. We don't have a clue. All we know is the fact that after everything was done, that we was told that A, it was brutal murder, and B, that there was at least 3 pieces of physical evidence, signatures that remained behind. That's it. To say anything aside of that is using speculation without any evidence, without anything to your point. Hey, here's Randy. How in the hell's Randy doing? No, it's 87 days, Calster Smith. 87 days. Yeah, 87 days till TJ B goes to court. That would be Thomas Jerome Bruce. He goes to court in St. Louis for the Catholic supply store sexual assault and homicide. Yeah, you see right there. Peaches Dixon, that may be. It could be. It may be, or it may not be. You know, I mean, seriously, if I was looking at this from like a professional investigator point of view for the FBI, there are special units, some like high tech, profile thing like that. Well, you would begin probably by looking at a lot of the statistics, like that. Because there are things that normally aren't done. One, in a small town size of Delphi, you don't get a double murder of two minor girls, by an older guy. You don't have all of this. And the same thing. I mean, again, when you're looking at Evansdale, middle of the day, two girls abducted, murdered, and again, then you go back on statistics. Well, two girls just aren't like abducted and murdered, every day, like that. It don't happen. There's only 16 cases since 1974. Out of 16, at least half of them were assault. So, it kind of points you into a direction. I would think. But this has been very long, man. Very long. I mean, 5 years, man. You know what? This has been 5 years of my life, man. 5 years of my life. 5 years not being able to talk about the news. No, it's got to be about Delphi. Every week, here I am talking about Delphi. It's a refueler. They fly over all the time. We're like part of Grissom Air Force bases, like fly space. They go like right over our house here, like 20 miles away from them. Just all the time. They stop at 10:30, unlike my neighbors. Thank you very much. If he was talking about me, don't know. Yeah, arrogance satisfying. I say I don't know really. Hold on. Let me go up and look at that. See if I can find it. Well, kind of fill me in on that, Randy, if you can. I mean, did you hear about it? Did somebody tell you? Was it in the paper? I mean, how did you hear about that? Because, and again, I would have to ask, like, well, why would there be 4 unmarked cars from Indiana and 1 from Missouri? I mean, it ain't like a. Well, I'll put it like this. Say an investigator from down there in Missouri wanted specifics on the crime here in Delphi. Well, he could get a hold of an investigator, and him and that investigator could drive out there, and he could take him right to the area and show him everything. But they wouldn't need 4 cars to do that. I mean, yeah, it would be cool if it would shine light on, maybe, but I'd like to know why, how that came about. I kind of remember that Randy can't remember how long ago. Yeah, look at that. Pookie shooting for show dedications. A little touch DNA on that thumb up. Maybe get a little bit of that right here real quick. All right, so I've been on here for 1 hour. God, feels like 3. Really does. I ain't got shit to do, really. Well, yeah, I do, too. Man, let me tell you something. You know what's hard about making a timestamp video? I'm going to tell you. And this is what was easy. This is what separates then from now. I got to come up with this shit. You see? I mean, I got to think, well, I need this added in. Well, where do I add it in? Do I add it in here? Or do I wait it into here? Well, when he's walking from here to there, then what do I say? You know, everything's got to have its proper time. And again, it's taking a long time, but man, it's going to be like $1 million video. It's going to be the best, greatest video on Delphi to date from anybody. Yeah, and that includes that one dude too. What's his name? The GH guy. You know, the guy that nobody likes, but everybody goes to. You know him. That guy. Yeah, I'm going to Radar. Know that. Hey, man, I met Radar one time. Oh, yeah. You know what, Radar? Let me tell you something. This is a true story. True. Extraordinarily true. People come to my website, and they'll be here, man, like every week, man. Bam, bam, bam. Right there, man. Bam, 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 bam. They don't want me to leave. They don't want me to stop. They don't want me to take a break. So, no, man. At Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, your ass better be live, Mr. Cat. Okay. Well, here I am. You know, I'm alive and stuff. Hang on. Before I saw the law of red clothes, the guy walked Anderson rail tracks. So you saw the cars? I see. Okay, so you saw 4 unmarked cars plus one from Missouri at the bridge. This is what you were telling me. If that is true, you can say yes, 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 Mr. Khan. Huh. Well, that is good to know. I see. Well, thank you very much, Randy. Man, wow. Huh. Well, I'm going to ask. Why would Missouri State Police be at the trails with 4 Indiana cars? Why would that be? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I really don't. I don't understand why they would show up there with 4 unmarked, you know. I don't really get that, but if in fact you've seen them, I'm not calling you a liar. Kind of odd. Yeah, excellent observation, man. Totally. You know, Randy, show dedications, man, with like little Pookie and stuff, man. There you go. Well, and again, you know, if you go to people call it the lost Holman tape, it's not really lost. It ain't lost. It was taken down. And the reason is because he said St. Louis. That's why they took it down. Anything that deals with TJV is gone. They take it down. They're not going to have anybody sitting on that information. I'm sitting on it, and I'm telling you, hey, listen to what I'm saying here. Because, yeah, it's going to come out in due time, and when it does, I want you to know I was right here, and I was telling you the whole time, hey, come here a minute, man. I want to tell you something. Man, I tell you about TJV. I mean, this guy had first degree murder. I think he's probably first degree. Here I am. I'm telling you guys like that. Oh, that's weird, Randy. Huh. I think I would have went over and been like, excuse me, man, what are you guys looking at? Hey, man, can I get video of you guys looking at this real quick? Hey, a little B-roll, maybe. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, hey. Man, you know what? I don't know if I told you guys or not. Really not too important to the case or anything like that, for sure. But we got a cabin out in the woods here. Way back out in the woods, too. It's like really cool. Used to have like a little man-made lake behind it. Dam's gone. I mean, anyway. So we got like little animal trails that go down back to there, So I set my trail cam up back there, right, man? Threw some pork chop bones out, to kind of draw animals. Hey, you know what, man? I'm sitting there looking at the videos a few days later, and I'm all like, wow, like, look at that. A rat out in the woods, man. There's a rat, and I'm sitting there, and then I'm watching it like eat the pork chop, and I'm like, I blow it up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it looks like a little bitty possum's what it looks like. A little bitty possum. So I got my little live trap set back there with pork chop bones and cat food. Sure enough, man, next day I had a little bitty possum, man. A little bitty possum. A little tiny thing. Cute as all get out, man. Well, I released him, but it was cool to show it. Well, 1 hour, man. 1 hour. 1 hour, and here I sat. Waiting, I imagine, for 87 days to go by. Waiting for the big word. Waiting. God, you know what? Let me tell you. Yeah, I don't. I'll tell you what I did do. I mean, I did have them. I mean, I had a wild rat, and I bred it with the domestic rat, and they had like wild colored babies. 2 litters, man, 22 babies, man. I had to go get rid of 22 babies. Let me tell you something, man. People just ain't buying wild colored rats, man. They don't want down with that. They want the little black and white rat and that kind of thing. I don't want that wild color rat. But yeah, I did that, and absolutely every single one of them came out with the wild agouti color. It was cool, man. And only 3% of people that try to get that cross actually have it happen, because the wild rat will normally, upon being captured, kind of not do that anymore. It's kind of like it loses that part to it where it doesn't wish to reproduce, I guess, once it's been encapsulated. But I got this great big giant you know, cage, big giant one, and I had them like off by themselves, man. Where they were, I mean, they had food, water, and, you know, there was no reason to see me. I wasn't around them. So, man, they knocked it out. You know, so like 3% of scientists, I did get that cross to happen, and y'all seen them, man. I still got video of it. They all came out with wild agouti color. So there you go. It can't happen. And I released them into the world where about 1 out of every 1,000 of their offspring will have the domestic color. Fuck yeah. I feel like Charles Darwin, man. Yeah, I wish it was, little Pookie. You know what? Good friend of mine, John John Collins. His birthday is on November 1st. Same day as you know what's weird? Is because like his birthday is on November 1st, right? But another friend of mine, man, her birthday was on October the 13th, his first trial date. You know, kind of weird, man. They said them like on my friends' birthdays. But anyways, aside of the point. So like my friend, he was born same year I was, but he was born on November the 1st, and I was born on November 30th. So he's 30 days older than me. So I always gave him a call after high school every year, every single year on November 1st, and called him an old man. You know, because for 30 days I could. He was only he had 30 days older than me. He was 1 year older than I was for 30 days. Oh yeah, Roy. Okay, see? Scorpio. Yeah. Scorpio, man. Right before Sag. That's me. Sag, the archer. Don't really arch or anything, but yeah, anyway, man, this year, I mean, I am but then again, you know, as soon as something starts to escape my mouth, I think, well, there is those variants, aren't there? Now Pelosi's talking about like, and we'll arrest you if you didn't get the yeah, well, they're your representatives. Remember that. Remember that. How big is Pup? How big is Pup now? You know what? Hang on. Crap. Man, I didn't even think about that. I didn't. Tomorrow is Puppy's birthday. Tomorrow, Puppy is 1. It'll be 1 tomorrow. 1. Man, I need to buy him like a porterhouse or something. Feed him up real good, man. Yeah, that's what I'll do. But I mean, yeah, you know what? I mean, he's like a baby now, man. He gets absolutely everything he wants. There is no baby in him, man. There is no treating him extra special. He gets whatever he wants in life, man. He's living the fucking dream. Puppy's living the dream, man. He knows it. He knows he is. Puppy knows he's adorable. He gets it. He uses it, man. He uses it to his advantage like a puppy should. So, oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thanks. And you know what? Puppy is like seriously appreciative, you know, and God, man, here it is tomorrow. And I didn't even get him a card. Now I got to plan like extra special day for him though. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but I might get him a steak for tomorrow. I think I'll just cook it out down at the gazebo, feed him down at the pool, make it a little extra special for him. The people's puppy, you know. Yeah. Well, he can, but not a lot. He can't read big words. He's got a really his like vocabulary is very low. He's more of a happy, fun dog than he is a thinking, high intelligence dog. Now, Wolf could read. Wolf could read with like a second year college level. I mean, he was really good at it. He was damn good. He was a smart dog. Oh yeah, you know what? Last year, it's been 1 year and 1 month to go. That's what I bought Puppy, or I mean Wolf, for his last birthday when he was 15. Was I bought him a porterhouse steak, but I mean I bought us T-bones. But it was a good day though. It was a good day to be Wolf. Well, yeah, that's easy to say, though. I mean, easy to say. But look, man, Wolf really liked his cards. It gave him things to look back on. Me and Wolf would sit here from time to time, go through pictures and cards, remembering dates. It was a good time. Okay. Well, talk. Well, talking, man. Tonka Wakon, it means the great one. I don't know if anybody ever watched the movie. It was about Custer's horse. Really a good movie. It's about a horse, though. Tonka Wakon. Yeah, really a good movie. And did you guys know that Custer's horse was the only one that lived out of the Battle of the Little Bighorn? You know, on the Union side, the only survivor. And that's, I mean, he was given like, what was it called? I forget. It was something like base, some kind of base privilege, where he could just like walk around this base and go wherever he wanted anytime, you know, go do whatever he wanted, you know, because he survived like the little bighorn. You know, it was crazy, man. Well, but look that up, man. It's a true story. I forget how long he lived, but until he died, man, he was at that base. He could go do what he wanted. Man, don't take me wrong. It wasn't like he was hanging out at the NCAO club buying shots and shit like that. I mean, you know, yeah, he just do horse things like eating the lawn, you know, at the park, just crap like that. Well, yeah, Figador. Well, see, Puppy's got a lot of names, just like Wolf. I mean, seriously, if I had to like lay down a list of all of Wolf's names, it would probably be like a book. It would be a book. That dog had a lot of names. Yeah, but I have too, though. Yeah, obviously that's the same thing. Wolf's real name was Boo. You know, that became Wolf over time, which became, you know, believe me, everything changes. Yeah, that's what I say. I can't just get a dog and name it. The name's got to attach. The name's got to grow. The name's got to become the dog. It takes time. It isn't things that just, you know, occur. Anywho, well, you see, man, you know what I wanted. This is what I want. And if there's somebody out there, because there probably is, there's somebody out there that sits around and in their spare time when they're at work, they think to themselves, you know, I'll bet, of all people out there, of all these amateur people, I bet I could interview somebody. I bet I have that in me. I bet I could interview somebody and ask them some good questions. I'm that kind of a person. I'm that one. I'm that one. I'm them. Reach me. And reach me right here at this email address. Found right here. Yeah. Right there. Mr. Cat at gmail.com. Or MrCat420 at gmail.com. Here's why. Because this show is so much easier when I got somebody asking me questions. Because if I don't have somebody asking me questions, that means I got to sit here and make up shit to talk about. 3 years of repeating myself. I got to think up new things to talk about. There aren't new things. But if I had somebody here asking me questions, People, we got 11 weeks, man. 11 weeks. 11 weeks. And let's just say you're one of those people that think that they could be like a great interview person, you know, like that. Contact me right there, Mr. Cat 420. We'll have you on the show. You'll be asking those questions. You'll be that interview person. You know, like that one person that you like so much, just like them. Exactly like them. But you'll be doing it on my show. There'll be the difference, you know. But it'll be the same, though. Everybody will be like, didn't they ask the right questions? At just the right time. They were really good. That's the way people will be about it. Yeah. You know what? Don't even get me started on papers. Because believe me, man, when I get a paper, you know, a dog, I get kind of carried away. Yeah. Well, you know what? I kept things simple with my coon dogs because everything was Bachelor Creek, you know, or Bachelor Run. So everything was Bolton's Bachelor Run. Then I just named their name with a B, like Bonsai, Brenda, yeah, Bozo, Banjo. You know, it was all easy when you got something to work with. But when you got nothing to work with, but you got this dog, well, you don't know that dog. That dog's a puppy. That dog may not grow up to be like you think because he's a puppy. You don't know that dog till he becomes a dog. Well, now he's becoming a dog. He's a great dog, man. I love this shit out of my puppy. I love him so much. He knows that. You know, he knows my love for him. So, anyways, it is pushing 7:30, and you know what I need. Questions. Did you say you were once in Oklahoma? I live in Oklahoma. Yes, I was once in Oklahoma. Enid, Oklahoma, Garfield County. That was the last place that my stepdad was stationed. God, I don't even know what the name of that. I don't even know what the airbase is there. But that's the last place he was stationed. I did go down there. That's where they had lived. But yeah, I did. I lived there for a while. I lived in Oklahoma when the OKC bombing happened. Lived 60 miles north of there when it happened. Dig this. We was out putting up a metal garage. This other guy, I knew him down there because he coon hunted. And of course, I had Brenda, who is a nocturnal nailer, probably the greatest walker coon dog in history. So I was trying to get some hunt time in, you know, for her, and he had some good dogs. So we went out, and I told him, I said, well, you know, okay, I just moved down here, didn't have a job. So, you know, he hooked me up, and we was out putting these garages up. So we're out, and it's windy, pretty windy. You know, when we're out there on top of this garage putting these metal pieces up, had to be very careful. Just pointing that out. You know, and anyway, man, so we're up there and we're laying them out, putting them down, and we take lunch. Well, we're out there taking lunch and we're listening to the radio. And Paul Harvey was on his show. And he was talking about the OKC bombing. Well, the way I understood it from the radio, like a guy had walked in, suitcase, something like that, bomb, boo, okay, so on and so on. You know, I'm thinking, okay, but not that big of a deal until I got home. When I got home, man, I'm looking at the news. I'm like, oh, fucking my God, man. Holy mother of shit. You know, it is really big, really, really big. And then, I mean, they blew down the, God, hang on, what's the name of that, man? Man, I forgot the name of the building. It's the Mueller building. Well, the federal building, we'll put it like that. Remember when they blew that up, man? That was like right when my brothers were going to school, my younger brothers. Because I was up in the morning watching that. The Murrah building. There it is. Thank you very much, BS. The night of Lafayette, Indiana courthouse was attacked. I was going to walk that night. Lucky I did not. See, I didn't even know they got attacked. I mean, I remember when Howard County, I mean, it wasn't attacked, man. I remember when the guy went in, though. I wasn't there. You know, I want to be clear. I wasn't there at the time. But I remember because he walked into the courtroom and he told his attorney, because the guy had a briefcase and he set it down, man, on the table, and he told his attorney, he's like, dude, get out here now. You know, and his attorney knew something was up, man. He's like, and he goes, I got out of there and I told everybody to get the hell out because something was up. And apparently in the guy's briefcase, he had a bomb. He blew it up, like second story. And from thereafter, now when you go into Howard County Courthouse, you got to go through security, metal detector, and all that shit. But yeah, who was Alfred Murrah? You know what? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who he was. He was some big guy, man, like back in 1900. You know, they named the federal building after him. Yeah, that was it. It was the Alfred Murrah building in Oklahoma that he blew up. It was a federal building. I mean, that's why it was federal charges. And they did away with him, which is weird because now that was carried out, of course, in Oklahoma. You know, if we believe the full narrative, if you believe it. But I mean, that is where the building was blown up at, was in Oklahoma. But where did they kill him at? Where did they off him? Anybody? Anybody know? No, Indiana. They killed him in Indiana, down Terre Haute at the maximum security penitentiary. That's where they killed him at. Now, I remember when that happened because it was, to me, like, wow, man, that just happened. And now they're going to kill him already? You know, because John Wayne Gacy, I mean, like, hell, that was in like the late 70s and it was like the early 90s. It was like 25 years later when they're like killing him. You know, but when the feds kill you, you go quick. They don't fuck around with that appeal shit. Yeah. Hey, you know, got to be very careful what I highlight there. Really do, because they will, man. They'll demonetize for anything and everything. They don't care. Oh, you're doing it live? Well, we're going to demonetize. And that's what they do. I'll go there after the show. They demonetized it when it began. You know, and then I got to click, no, everything's fine, man. I swear to it. You know, I honestly swear to it. Well, somebody look at it. I mean, it's like 2-hour video. They make minimum wage. That's more money than we're going to give you. You know, they would rather pay somebody minimum wage for 2 hours to watch one of my shows than to pay me. Think about that. How do I know this guy watching my show ain't going, you know, how do I know he ain't, how do I know? Oh, we don't know, do we? No, we just got to go with what the masters say. The masters say demonetized. Well, it's demonetized. There you go. You just got to deal with it. Yeah, you know what? I don't know, but I'm kind of over it. I wish that they would stop bringing them here. I mean, I can tell you right now, one thing that I can say positively, matter of fact, people in Indiana don't want any more of them. Explain what pictures, if you would, BS. Because anytime that somebody has some reason to question the FBI, I went in. Oh, yeah. You know why radar? Is because anything that you might say would be like, well, yeah, but you're not a doctor that's paid for. And if you're not a paid for doctor, then you can't really say anything. You can't. You can only say things if you're a doctor and you're paid for. Then, okay, we'll allow it. But that's it. Other than that, even just bringing the word up, they go, sorry. No, we demonetize because apparently you don't know what you're talking about. You know, and things just like that. Yeah. No, right on, Tammy. Exactly. That was 25 years for Gacy. Like, you know what? And I can't, well, I kind of can. I mean, look, let me put it to you like this. Bundy, when he was up Seattle, Utah area, like up in Colorado, you know, like in there, okay, he had asked somebody, he says, well, where's the one place where you don't want to commit a capital crime? You know, because of the death penalty. And they're like, oh, probably Florida. I mean, they'll kill everybody down there. What'd he do? He headed to Florida to go, you know, and I'm just like, man, that's a man with a death wish there, man, right there. You know, it's like, oh, they'll kill you down there. Well, fuck, well, that's where I'm headed. I'll go down there and kill them. Oh, yeah. You know what? There ain't. Let me tell you, they did that at the exact right time. What was that, like 96? I think it was 96. Might have been 95. But they did that at just the right time. It was right before everybody had a cell phone. If something like that happened today, everybody and their brother would have the explosion on the cell phone. Just that quick and easy. Well, yeah, and everybody can, and everybody will. But see, that is the issue. The issue is this: if I came on here, onto YouTube, to enlighten you all, you know, to the grand mystery of all you the universe, that people sit down, seriously, sit down, because I have like the grandest news for you. Listen carefully. Everything was created by boulders. Big, giant boulders. Well, that is an opinion. You know, that is my opinion. And if I believe that, and I honestly believe that and feel that that's real, I should be able to share that with you because my God, I might feel I'm enlightening you. And you know, that's where my heart's at. I know boulders created everything. And if you don't, then maybe you need to feel like I do, all giddy and in love with boulders, because you could feel like I do if I could express my feelings to you in a free way. And that's why we have freedom of speech, so that people can talk freely and exchange their opinions and gather more opinions. That's why we communicate and express things, because people aren't stupid. People know left from right. 2 + 2 = 4. People get it. But when people are shut down because of censorship and no, we got to make sure people believe this. We got to make sure of it, okay? That's when it gets a little hairy. That's when it becomes the real crap line. Yeah, it is. Exactly. And that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me, because I am at my very bottom of my soul, right here, where puppies matter more than anything else on earth. I am a man that is about freedom. 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 Freedom and liberty. You're God's creation. Go live. Go do as you see fit. You go live and enjoy your life in pursuit of happiness in any way that you wish to. Just do not impede upon another man's right to live as free as you are. And you break no law at all. Have a nice life. Thank you. I will. Well, that's gone now. Everybody's like, well, the world's so crazy. Well, gee, it probably left with your freedom and liberty, you idiots. Why don't you go vote for like new representatives? That always helps. It's always helped up to now, hasn't it? You know, people never learn. People never do. Yeah. 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 Very, very true. Very true. You know what? So, I mean, I have a Twitter account, and I just throw these videos on it. Facebook account, I just throw these videos on it. I just, you know, it just, I go to my, you know, I go to my email for messages. I go to Facebook for messages. That's it. I mean, I really don't spend like large portions of my day looking over crime. You know, I really don't. I've looked into this crime. I hit the bottom of this crime at about 3 years ago. It's all been repeat since then. This part is coming to an end. Thank God. You know, so hopefully, you know, once this is all, you know, put out there that yes, he is the suspect, and yeah, it goes deeper in Delphi, everybody will be on my page. Everybody will be on my page then. And when they're on my page, then everything changes. Then everything changes. Then we can really get to the bottom of shit. It won't be just me. You can hear your favorite YouTuber out there talking about TJB, you know, like, you know, all night and day. People will not get enough of TJB. That will be the only news in the world, will be TJB for months, like years while he goes to court. It will be TJB. Books will be wrote. Movies will be made. There will be so much talk about TJB. TJB will be the biggest name in serial murder since probably Ted Bundy. I don't even think BTK is going to be as big as TJB will be in the end. That's how big this will be. God, man, I wish I was you guys. I really do. Man, because like right now I could be sitting in my house, man, you know, like listening to me and going like, wow, you know what? That guy doesn't sound like he's on drugs anymore. You know, he don't sound like that. You know, he sounds like somebody that really knows what he's talking about, you know? And, you know, I'm going to take his word on this. That's how I'd be. You know what, man? This is for real. I can watch a person's videos. No, I was totally screwing around about the drugs part, but I say that, you know, because I got the long hair and the beard, and makes me look very rustic. Makes me look more moonshiner, and probably more than anything. Anyway, let me get back to where I was going with that. Where was I going with that? No, well, you see, that is not And the same thing applies with the reward. That is not my reward. It isn't. Because if it was, then I'd be making way better videos than what I'm doing. Way better. You know, I just want people to know, just to know that, yeah, I did. You know, it ain't about me calling it nobody else did. I mean, because that's really as easy as me saying, well, they didn't come up with the right questions. They didn't come up with the right investigation. They didn't know what they was looking for. They didn't know why they was looking for it because they didn't know the full of the, you know, stuff like that. But it doesn't have anything to do with me. And I don't want it to be about me. It's just like the FBI reward. That's $500,000. If somebody says I'm sitting here working for that, they're out of their mind. They could not give me that $500,000. If they walked up to me and said this $500,000 belongs to you, I'd say no, it does not. No, it does not. And you cannot give that to me because I ain't working for stardom. You know, I'm not working for money. Citizen reward money, that differs. And I'm not working for that, but I would accept that. I would accept the citizen reward money, but not the big reward money. You know, that big reward money that goes to the families in both cases, both of them. And if the FBI does not give that to the families, then that's on the FBI. I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. Everything that I have done will disappear. They will make sure that it's all gone. They will delete this channel just like my old channel, and you will hear not another word further out of me. They'll make sure of it. That's why I tell you guys right now. I'm letting you in on it. I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know right now. Yeah, he did it. He did do it. Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. And not only that, and he's got a lot behind him. And anything that I can name probably is the surface of what he's totally done. I forget what it was. I think it was 38 total murders that Bundy was allegedly had committed that they could look at and say, yeah, he did this. But out of all those 38, do you know that they only hit Bundy for, I think, 3 or 4 of them? And that's what they killed him on? All the others still remain pretty much unsolved. Now, I would hope that they don't do that with TJB because, man, we're looking at going all the way back to the 80s. 80s all the way up until 2018. No, 19. You know, we're looking at like a very long series of murders. Now, I don't know if it's over 38. You know, I don't know if it's more than BTK or Gary Ridgway or I don't know like that. But I'm going to say that 2 of them in a small county, you know, like Genesee, 2 years apart. Whenever opportunity would show itself when he was in that mood and had been drunked up enough, that's what that's what it was that he was looking for. You know, he wasn't a like stalk a person, see him, and then go off and drive. No, he's more of a person that when opportunity came along, there it was, nobody's around, I can do this. That's the way he thought. But when it does happen, when it does come down, you know, when it is brought out in a press conference that they will have that press conference, and it should be right at the first part of 2022. I speculate February 13th, 5th year anniversary of Delphi, perfect time. But they will come out, man, and they will say TJB is suspect in these crimes. They will come out and announce that. And when they do, now I want you to think about that. When they do, when absolutely everybody, when everybody that talks about Delphi all become centered on the same guy. That's how it will change. You know what? People will pull things up that I couldn't find because they know where to go find them. You know, people will be able to pull this up. It'll be a game changer. And I honestly, I cannot wait for it. I can't wait for it. And it's not because look, man, what do I have? Like 3,200 subscribers? Like, that is so minuscule. So little bitty, little tiny itty bitty bit of subscribers. The world ain't gonna know about me. You know, they ain't gonna hear about me. But you all that do hear me, you heard it, man. You heard it here long beforehand. And you can take it to the bank. You can bank on it like it's Bitcoin, if you like. Did I tell you about Bitcoin? I did? Okay. Well, because you can go right there to Coinbase, and you can buy Bitcoin. Not only can you buy Bitcoin, but they added 2 more that you can earn. You can go on there right now. Join. Just join. Fill it out. Yeah, I'm Harry J. Smith. Woo. Okay, I'm a member. There's my money. $45. Free crypto. Just for you. Go ahead. Go get your money. $45 on me, Michael J. Cat. Are you talking about for Delphi? No. Sandra, they got all the evidence in the world in Delphi. If you can name evidence, they have it in Delphi. Fingerprints, DNA, people that saw him. You got the CSI, physical signatures. They got him nailed to the wall, and he knows it. Now, you might say, well, then why would they want to go talk to him? Well, they always want to go talk to somebody, especially if it's for murder. You know, they don't just walk in one day and say, we're nailing you for murder. You know up front that you're at least going to be accused or you're a person of interest. You know, you already know that much. You know, they go down and talk to you. You know, well, we're here to talk to you about this crime. Well, then they start laying it out. Well, we have this video. Well, we have these people that say they seen you. Well, we have your DNA and fingerprints here. Well, we got this car that was, you know, they can go right down the line because they know they got it. Now, people believe, for some reason, people believe that like TJB can just go, yep, well, guess what? I ain't talking, so piss off. And they can't do anything. People, there have been people executed on far less evidence than what they have TJB on in Delphi. Wrongfully executed. You know, now here's the thing. They're not going to go down there and he's going to say, well, I ain't talking. Then they go, oh, shit. Well, we can't do anything if you don't talk. No, quite contrary. They actually have DNA and fingerprints that tie him to a lot of cases. And they're all going to go down there and talk to him concerning all those cases. Now, depending on how they do that, whether it's one case where they go in, try him on all of them federally, or if they do it on individual ones where it's state to state to state. I believe that they can go federal on here. Now, I believe federal because just like Ted Bundy, they nailed him in Florida, but they left the other 38, well, let's say 34, kind of unsolved. They knew he did them, but they didn't state, they didn't try him on him. You see where I'm at? Well, I'm hoping that this right here is going to change from that, where they do it federally and go get all of them. You see where I'm at? And try them all at one time. Now, it would be cool if they did bring him back to Indiana to try him for Delphi. But I don't think that they're going to do it like that. I don't even know where they would try him, honestly. Since he's in Missouri, they might try him in Missouri, might try him like right there in St. Louis as an example. That could be because he's already there. Hey, Marvelous Marv, how you doing? Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Radar. I'll throwing that up there. It means stuff to WKAT and Michael J. Cat exclusively, in large part. If you're talking about my channel, see, but I don't understand why the can put his channel down. For what reason? They leave it on now. So sorry, I'm not American. Don't know FBI politics. No, I think that the reason for that, Jenny. Now I had my old channel. Now my old channel was my real name, Michael Stroop. That was my channel name. And I had 8,700 subscribers on there. It was a really good channel. I talked about world news. Love doing that. Would really be doing excellent at that right now, if not for Delphi. But of course, Delphi happened. Now, me and Greeno immediately started making videos on Delphi. And we immediately took the #1 spot on YouTube and Google. Like ABC, NBC, CNN, nobody could get in above where I was. If I made one and it was called Bridge Guy Goes to a Movie, it was going to be #1. It was going to go #1 on YouTube and Google. Well, law enforcement did not like that. And after the first year press conference, law enforcement wanted no part of me. And they wanted no part of me having the #1 thing on there. And I think that they told YouTube, get rid of his channel. Get rid of it. That way he no longer has the #1 spot. They deleted my channel. It was up for, what, 6 years? No, 5 years. Not one strike. Not one strike ever. Not a single strike. Boom. Three strikes 1 week. Deleted my channel. 736 videos deleted. Gone. Why? Because they didn't want me to have that top spot. That's why. It has nothing to do with politics. Because actually in America, over here, we're supposed to be under common law, supposed to be all free and, shit just like that. But that's more of like a founding fathers thing. That's been long gone ever since then. We ain't had that shit in a very, very long time. So, hey, Tammy Draper, thank you. Hey, and if you got a question, throw it up. I'd be happy to answer. You know how I am with that. Oh, holy shit. All kinds of, man, damn, okay. AFK. AFK. Hold on. Who is AFK? Yeah, who is AFK? Yeah, I don't know AFK. I don't think. Yeah. Well, I'll give you that. And I will. Now, there are some other reasons. But again, I mean, I want to be very clear. This is the way I should begin every video. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not federal law enforcement. I'm not local law enforcement. I was military police, like law enforcement, kind of, sort of, military police, got to be E4. That was back in the 80s. Took a couple years of criminal investigation. If that means shit, I don't think it does, because I don't remember any of it. However, there are some things that could possibly, maybe, make this federal if done correctly. As a prime example, one of the crimes, if they were all committed by the same guy, and this is my speculation, well, one of them began on federal property, the railroad, Delphi. The girls were abducted on railroad property, CSX Railroad on the bridge. Okay. Maybe they could say, well, that right there, because it was on federal property, we can roll all of them into a federal case because one was. Is that the way they would do it? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how they'd make it federal, but I'm saying they almost have to. Let me put it to you like this. You got Ted Bundy, and this is another thing that's very interesting. You don't really have serial killers that travel. They don't go state to state to state to state to state to state, like that. Because normally, once that they deduce that the guy's doing it, well, I mean, I guess you could look at the I-70 killer like that. He went state to state to state. He was never caught. Okay. Ted Bundy, Washington, Utah, Colorado, but was nailed and put to death for the ones that he did down in Florida, which was at the Psi Omega sorority house. And I forget the little girl's name. Reese. I think she was like 12. And that's where they killed him. But they only tried him on those 4 cases. That was it, not the rest. Well, I don't think that they would do it like that with this guy. This is a big serial killer. This is a guy whose serial killings go through multiple states. Now, how would you do that? Because again, if you're looking at like John Wayne Gacy, right there in Chicago, Jeffrey Dahmer, right there where he lived, BTK, right there around where he lived. All of them pretty much had like their little area where they worked within, where it would be done like that. But it wasn't like multiple states. But if it's a multiple states where they want to try all this into one crime, all they need is one good reason to make it federal. And if they have a reason that they can make it federal where the feds can step in, then great. That way they can try it all at one time, and Delphi ain't got to wait 10 years to become last in line. We don't want that shit. Yes, thank you very much, Anna. You know what? Okay, hear me out, because I know that many of you have been like on here and heard me talking about who looks at me as a threat if you're talking about me? Yeah, well, no, exactly. No, and that's the point I make right there, Donnie. That's exactly what I make. If it's got to go from state to state to state like that, in order of the time that the crime was committed, my God, man, it could start in Michigan to California, back to Michigan, Indiana. Iowa would go before Indiana probably, unless there was a prior that was committed in Indiana before that. Missouri would be in there. There's a lot there's a lot of murder that this man has done over many years. And we only know about the last snippet of it. And this is why I say, if it's not all rolled into one, Delphi is going to be at the end of that list, at the very end of that list. And that's going to take a long time to get through. And I know this, Indiana doesn't want that to become the last in line. And I don't think that law enforcement or the federal government, I don't think anybody wants us to be like that. So I think that it is going to come down that the feds will, in all likelihood, take this case and tie it all into one and try it like that. Now, if they do it like that, because I understand where people's at, because my mind's already been there for a long time. If you go in and you say, okay, you got life without parole, and you're going to be doing that right here in Missouri. Now, we want to talk to you about these other cases in these other states, and we think you know the ones that we're talking about. You can look through this and look at the cases. Now, a person would logically dictate from that they would say, well, if you plead guilty to all of them, then we won't fry you. We won't kill you. Whereas I look at it differently. People in Iowa, they want justice for Evansdale, but the people that live in Evansdale want death for him. I mean, that's been their word. We want this guy, when he is caught, to die. We want him to face the death penalty. Iowa's not a death penalty state. Now, I think Michigan is, or maybe they're not now. Missouri is, but they're kind of taking it off the table. Chicago is, but people that are like, sent to death row in California normally die on death row, waiting to die on death row, by natural causes, so they don't really die on death row in California. And the only one I really see that they have that would hold is Indiana. But now if the feds do it, they can put it like this. Well, we have all these cases, and we can tie you to all these cases. Now, we can try you for all of these cases, if that's the way you want to roll this. And if you're found guilty on even one of these cases, then we're going to go for death. We will shoot for the death penalty. Now, that right there is what a person would not want to hear, because he already knows he's hit for Delphi. He knows the ones that he's hit for, because he knows the evidence that was missing that they didn't have, that now they do have, and that's how he knows he's hit. So I think that's the difference. If they do find a way where the feds can try all of it, that's what we want. That's what we need, right there. Well, yeah, that's in some cases. That ain't in this one. No, when you got a serial murderer that's got hell, man, let me throw a number out there. I'll say 20, 25 cases. Well, they know that all 25 of those cases he can't beat with a public defender. This guy ain't got like O.J. Simpson money. He's working with a public defender. So I don't think that he can beat them. And again, they got him by the ball strings in Delphi. It's for real. They do. There ain't nothing he can say otherwise. He knows he's sit there, and he knows that all the rest. Look, I'll put it to you like this: we know that there was minimally 3 physical signatures in Delphi. Correct? Well, what about these others? Do you think he let them be? That there was no physical signatures there? No, I would disagree. I would think that they had them at all of them, and all of them also as well tied back to him. Many of these things can be placed into his property, where he was, everything. It all ties in together. And people really make too much of this. I don't know if whatever TV shows they're showing today show everybody get off on some little technicality or something, but life don't work like that. Life does not work like that. Believe me, I went in on shit that technically I didn't even do that. And I had to take the punishment. Yeah. Yeah. All right, ladies and gents and people and others. Hey, man, I noticed Wombat was here. Wombat was here earlier. I don't know if people seen him or not. But Wombat was here. So was Peaches Dixon, too. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks. Thank all 51 of you guys for being here. Donnie, Nancy, and Anna, and Radar, and Jenny, and Tammy. You know what, man? Thanks everybody for being here. All mods, all viewers, man. Geo from Ottawa is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody in the world knows football like Geo knows. Go check his channel out. Geo knows, and he takes the man's money every single time. Anyways, I'll see you all next Tuesday when it will be 80 days to go. Peace till then.